The Selma March in 1965 was a pivotal moment in American history, marking a significant chapter in the civil rights movement. This event brought together thousands of people who were united by a common goal: to fight for voting rights and challenge racial injustice. The march began on March 7, known as Bloody Sunday, when peaceful protesters were brutally attacked by law enforcement while trying to cross the Edmund Pettus Bridge. The images of this violence shocked the nation, igniting outrage and support for the movement. By the time of Terrence Wilkins' encounter with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the atmosphere in Selma was charged with determination and hope. People from all walks of life gathered, including families, students, and elders, all marching hand in hand toward freedom. Their voices echoed with chants demanding equality and justice. Among them was young Terrence, just 10 years old but filled with a strong desire to make a difference. He understood that this march was not just about adults, it was about everyone seeking a better future. As the crowd surged forward, each step resonated with courage and defiance. The air buzzed with energy as individuals shared stories of struggle and resilience. For many, this march symbolized a chance to rewrite their destiny, to claim their right to vote and be heard in a society that often silenced them. The significance of the Selma March extended far beyond its immediate goals. It served as a catalyst for change across the nation. It brought together diverse groups of people who stood against oppression, demonstrating that unity could spark powerful movements for justice. It was within this backdrop of hope and determination that young Terrence would soon make his unforgettable connection with Dr. King, a moment that would shine brightly amidst the larger fight for civil rights. Terrence Wilkins was just a typical 10-year-old boy living in Montgomery, Alabama. He loved playing baseball with his friends and spending time with his family. His parents, both passionate about civil rights, often spoke about the struggles faced by their community. They instilled in Terrence a strong sense of justice and the importance of standing up for what is right. Growing up, he witnessed the challenges faced by African Americans during a time of segregation and discrimination. He heard stories from his grandparents about their own hardships and the fight for equality. Their words painted a vivid picture in his young mind, filling him with both sadness and determination. Inspired by these tales, Terrence felt a growing urge to help change the world around him. When news of the Selma March reached him, Terrence was filled with excitement. He understood that this was a chance for people to come together and make their voices heard. He wanted to be part of this important event, to show his support for those fighting for their rights. Though he was just a child, he believed that every little action mattered in the larger fight for justice. His mother agreed to take him to the march, explaining how significant it was to stand up for their rights. As they prepared to leave home that morning, Terrence made a decision. He would bring a letter for Dr. King. In his heart, he wanted to share his hopes for a better future, one where everyone would be treated fairly, regardless of their skin color. As he stood among the crowd in Selma, Terrence felt a mixture of nerves and excitement. He saw people hugging, chanting, and marching hand in hand toward freedom. The spirit of unity inspired him as he moved through the sea of faces, ready to make his small but meaningful contribution to the march. As Terrence Wilkins stood in the midst of the crowd at the Selma March, he could feel a powerful energy pulsating around him. The air was thick with determination and hope, creating a vibrant atmosphere that seemed to lift everyone's spirits. People of all ages and backgrounds gathered shoulder to shoulder, their faces a mix of excitement and anxiety. Chants echoed through the streets, ringing out with calls for justice and equality, while the sounds of drums and singing filled the air, uniting the crowd in rhythm. Some participants wore bright clothing or carried handmade signs, each one displaying messages of love and resilience. As they marched forward, their voices rose together, creating a tapestry of hope that intertwined with the fear many felt. Terrence noticed the tears in some eyes, but they were not only tears of sorrow. They were also tears of courage, reflecting the deep longing for change that had brought them all here. Parents held their children's hands tightly, wanting them to experience this historical moment, while shielding them from the harsh realities outside the march. Elders shared stories of past struggles, reminding everyone why they were there. Despite the underlying fear of what might happen next, whether there would be violence or further resistance. The atmosphere remained charged with an unyielding spirit. As they moved toward the Edmund Pettus Bridge, Terrence couldn't help but feel a sense of belonging. He saw strong faces filled with hope and determination, each person contributing to a collective dream for a better future. The march was not just about demanding rights. It was about standing together as one community, refusing to be silenced any longer. In that moment of unity, Terrence felt inspired, ready to take action and share his message with Dr. King, knowing that his small gesture could play a part in something much bigger. As Terrence stood amid the throng of marchers, a surge of determination filled his heart. He glanced at the faces surrounding him. Some were smiling, while others displayed a mix of hope and fear. He knew he had to get to Dr. King, but moving through the crowd felt like navigating through a bustling river. People pressed against one another, swaying with the rhythm of chants and songs, their voices rising like waves. Taking a deep breath, Terrence squeezed his way forward. His small stature often made it hard for him to see over the taller figures, but he was determined not to be discouraged. He called out softly as he edged past people. "Excuse me. I need to get through." Some gave him encouraging smiles, while others were too focused on their mission to notice him. With each step, his excitement grew. He was so close to fulfilling his wish. However, it wasn't easy. The crowd surged and swayed with emotion, hands raised in solidarity, and voices ringing in defiance. At times, Terrence felt overwhelmed by the sheer size of the gathering and the energy that pulsed around him. Yet, thinking about his letter gave him courage. He held it tightly in his hand as if it were a lifeline that would connect him to Dr. King. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Terrence spotted Dr. King standing a few feet away, speaking passionately to the crowd. His heart raced as he approached the front line of marchers surrounding the iconic leader. With newfound strength and unwavering resolve, he pushed through until he reached Dr. King's side. This was it, the moment when his voice would join countless others in pursuit of justice and change, a moment that would remain etched in history forever. As Terrence finally reached the front line, he stood face to face with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The moment felt electric, filled with palpable energy that surged around them. Dr. King was clad in a dark suit, his eyes expressive, conveying both strength and compassion as he spoke to the crowd. Terrence's heart raced. He had watched Dr. King on television and listened to his powerful speeches, but now he was just a few feet away from the man who inspired so many. Gathering all the courage he could muster, Terrence took a deep breath, feeling the weight of his folded letter in his hand. He stepped closer, his voice barely rising above the surrounding chants. "Dr. King!" he exclaimed, his eyes wide with excitement and nervousness. As Dr. King turned his attention toward him, the noise around them faded into a soft murmur, creating an intimate space that felt just for them. "Hello there, young man," Dr. King said warmly, bending slightly to meet Terrence's gaze. There was kindness in his eyes that encouraged Terrence to speak freely. "I have something for you," Terrence managed to say as he extended his small hand holding the letter. The crowd seemed to hold its breath momentarily as if they all recognized the significance of this exchange. Dr. King gently took the letter and unfolded it, reading silently for a moment. As he processed the words crafted by a child's heart, filled with dreams of equality and hope, the emotion in his eyes deepened. Tears began to form as he looked back at Terrence, realizing that this simple gesture held immense power. In that brief encounter, a connection was formed, a bond between a leader and a boy filled with hope. It was a reminder that even the smallest voices could contribute to a larger movement for justice. That moment became etched in history, symbolizing the innocence of youth intertwined with the relentless pursuit of equality and change. As Dr. King unfolded the letter, the crowd around them seemed to hold its breath in anticipation. The carefully written words, in Terrence's childlike handwriting, expressed a mix of innocence and profound understanding. It read, "Dear Dr. King, I hope you can help our people. I want everyone to be treated the same because we all have feelings inside. I believe that if we work together, we can make things better for everyone. Terrence had penned those lines inspired by the stories he heard from his parents and grandparents about their struggles and dreams. He wrote how he imagined a world where children could play together without fear and where families could live happily no matter the color of their skin. In his mind's eye, he pictured a playground filled with laughter, with all kids, black and white, sharing swings and slides. As Dr. King read each sentence, a warm wave of emotion washed over him. The letter spoke not only of hope but also of courage, revealing the heart of a child who dared to dream of a brighter future. It reminded everyone around them that children carry an innate sense of fairness and love. They see beyond differences that society often magnifies. With tears welling in his eyes, Dr. King was deeply moved by this simple yet powerful message, a stark reminder that the fight for equality was not just for adults, but for all generations to come. He looked down at Terrence and felt a renewed sense of purpose surge within him. This child represented the innocence that still thrived amidst hardship, embodying the efforts of countless men and women who fought for justice. The letter became more than just words on paper. It transformed into a symbol of hope, courage, and the unshakable belief that change was possible when people united in kindness and determination. As Dr. King finished reading Terrence's letter, he felt a wave of emotion wash over him. The innocent words echoed in his heart, reminding him of the countless struggles and dreams that had fueled the civil rights movement. Tears welled up in his eyes, not just from the weight of the letter's message but from the realization that hope could come from such a young source. In that moment, he understood that this child's vision of equality was not just a dream, it was a powerful affirmation of the very cause he fought for daily. Dr. King instinctively knelt down to meet Terrence's gaze, wanting to connect with him directly. He saw in Terrence the embodiment of every child who desired to be treated fairly and with kindness. This moment was especially poignant for Dr. King. He often carried the heavy burden of leadership, but here was a reminder that change could also spring from pure intentions and simple truths. "Thank you for this," Dr. King said softly, his voice trembling with emotion as he looked at the boy before him. The intensity of their exchange resonated deeply within both of them, the leader and the child, connected by dreams of justice that transcended age and experience. The crowd around them seemed to sense the significance of this interaction as well. Some wiped away tears while others nodded in agreement. They were witnessing something special, a moment where hope met action, where innocence sparked inspiration. Dr. King's reaction to Terrence's letter reinforced his belief that every voice mattered in the struggle for equality. It reminded him that even amid hardship and despair, there remained an unwavering spirit among children like Terrence, who would one day inherit the world they were fighting to change. This encounter fueled Dr. King's resolve and served as a beautiful symbol of how hope can flow from one generation to another, lighting the way forward in their shared journey toward justice. The brief interaction between Terrence Wilkins and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. at the Selma March became an enduring symbol of hope for the civil rights movement. In that moment, a child's innocent dream of equality resonated deeply with the struggles faced by countless individuals fighting for justice. It showcased how even the smallest voices could contribute to a larger chorus demanding change. This powerful exchange illustrated that the fight for civil rights was not solely in the hands of adults, but was also a mission embraced by the younger generation. As word of their encounter spread, it inspired many to reflect on their own roles in the movement. Terrence's letter, filled with heartfelt aspirations, reminded people of the importance of nurturing hope among children. It sparked discussions in homes and communities about the values of equality and justice, encouraging families to engage their children in conversations about civil rights. The image of Dr. King kneeling to connect with Terrence emphasized the idea that compassion and understanding transcend age, making it clear that everyone has a part to play in shaping a better future. This moment became a rallying point, inspiring others to join the fight for justice. Activists and marchers shared Terrence's story, highlighting how his simple gesture mirrored the broader struggle for civil rights. The letter symbolized the unwavering spirit of youth, embodying the belief that change is possible when individuals unite in kindness and determination. In essence, this brief yet profound interaction encapsulated the essence of the civil rights movement: hope, unity, and the belief in a brighter tomorrow. It served as a reminder that every effort counts, and that the dreams of one child can ignite a movement that transforms society for generations to come. The legacy of Terrence and Dr. King's encounter continues to inspire activists today, proving that hope remains a powerful catalyst for change. Terrence Wilkins' simple act of kindness and bravery at the Selma March left a profound impact on civil rights leaders and participants alike. When he approached Dr. King with his heartfelt letter, it not only highlighted the innocence of youth but also served as a reminder that every individual, regardless of age, has the power to influence change. This moment resonated deeply within the hearts of those fighting for justice, sparking a renewed sense of purpose among activists who witnessed it. For many leaders in the movement, Terrence's willingness to push through the crowd symbolized courage in its purest form. It reminded them that their fight was not just for themselves but for future generations, inspiring them to continue their work with even greater conviction. The sight of a young boy taking action motivated others to engage with their own communities, encouraging them to foster conversations about equality and justice at home and beyond. Terrence's story quickly spread among civil rights circles, becoming a powerful symbol used in speeches and community gatherings. His letter became emblematic of hope, an example that showed how dreams for a better world could emerge from any voice, no matter how small. Activists often shared his experience as a way to inspire others, urging people to look beyond societal barriers and recognize the shared humanity that binds everyone together. As time went on, Terrence's impact continued to be felt. His actions encouraged children across the country to participate in activism, reminding them that they too could play a role in shaping their communities. The legacy of his bravery served as a beacon for those striving for justice, reinforcing the idea that kindness is a powerful tool in the fight against inequality. In essence, Terrence Wilkins became more than just a young boy at a march. He transformed into a symbol of youthful courage and hope, a reminder that every act of compassion contributes to the larger tapestry of change needed to create a fairer society. The moment between Terrence Wilkins and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. at the Selma March stands as a pivotal point in history, symbolizing hope and the enduring struggle for equality. This encounter reminds us that significant change often begins with the simplest expressions of compassion and the courage to act, no matter one's age. Terrence's heartfelt letter became a beacon for those striving for justice, illustrating that even a child's voice can resonate powerfully within the larger narrative of civil rights. This brief but meaningful interaction encapsulated the essence of the civil rights movement, the fight for dignity, respect, and equality for all individuals. As Terrence shared his dreams with Dr. King, he embodied the spirit of countless young people who have fought alongside adults throughout history, reinforcing the idea that the future lies in their hands. The courage exhibited by this 10-year-old boy inspired many to engage in activism, fostering hope and determination within communities across the nation. The legacy of this moment continues to inspire future generations to advocate for social justice and equality. It serves as a reminder that every action, no matter how small, can make a difference. Today, Terrence's story is shared in schools and communities as an example of youthful bravery and kindness. It encourages children to believe in their ability to affect change and inspires adults to nurture that belief. As we reflect on this remarkable moment in history, we are reminded that the fight for civil rights is ongoing. The lessons learned from Terrence's encounter with Dr. King compel us to continue championing justice for all people. By fostering understanding and compassion, we can honor their legacy and contribute to building a more equitable society for future generations. In doing so, we not only preserve their memory but also carry forward their dream of a world where everyone is treated with respect and dignity.